Right, I will see you in an hour. So in a short while, we will begin with a story. And the story can be used in many different ways. You may find it useful if you are practicing or developing a particular modality. It points your way to those who are having some difficulty in meditation. It may help those which are struggling on their spiritual path. It is also aimed at those wanting to go deeper into their path and realization. For those wanting to make a connection to spirit and to hold that connection. It'll be useful for those which want to understand that you are forever blissful, even though you may not feel it now. It'll be useful for those who are seeking what to do next. If you would like to go deeper, further, if you would like to find the land of the mystic, if you want to enjoy forever paradise, if you want to find spirit at every moment, in every day, then this story gives you some indications of the path. Now, we'll explain the story in a moment and how it affects one or two things, and then we'll look at it again to explain how it may help other explanations of other parts of the process of understanding yourself. So before we begin that story, it is wise to review the healing list, if I may have those names now, please, Brandon.
Nelson Oliver Cruz Valenzuela, Alex Ross, Amanda Kay, Karen, Rob, Elizabeth Contreras, Stephanie and Carol, Taylor, Tamara and Jonah, Wendy, Gerard, Chris and Louise Oswald, Faye and Dale Kenny, Vivian Sellers, Deborah, Helen, Bob and Val Oswald, Howard, Jeremiah and Maureen, Nigel Clark and Mom, Teresa, Tracy, Eric, Stephen, and Matthew. Thank you.
Now, there is a man who, at the end of each workday, sits in his garden enjoying his pipe. He would sit there for an hour and just let the world be as the world wishes to be. As he enjoyed his pipe, he would relax and feel somewhat comfortable with his circumstance. And as he began to relax still more, he would find times that he would fall into a state of being completely blissful. Now, it's not a very long story, but it has far-reaching implications if you understand it. That a man would swear sitting in the garden or the pipe or tobacco were the reason for his times of feeling bliss and serenity. You say the tobacco did it. My pipe allowed me to. But the truth is, it has nothing to do with the garden, the pipe, or the tobacco. But it appears that way. See, the man thinks by lighting the tobacco, he gets taken off in a little time to some promised land or paradise. Now, in your case, you may say that is your book or your time of doing a certain activity, the time when you are spending in the garden, the time when you are just you and your partner at a sunset on the beach. And you would swear it's all those external circumstances that have taken you to that stage of feeling tranquility and bliss. But then you try to repeat the activity. And often it is far harder to achieve the activity and the outcome exactly as you did the first time. And if you picture yourself sitting watching the sunset or watching your children at play, see if you can relate to that man sitting in the garden. You see, what is really occurring is not the tobacco and pipe, but the man is letting go of his activities, of his worries, or what needs to be done. He's surrendering his external life. He's surrendering the demands of life to accomplish certain things in a certain time, in a certain way. And as he truly lets go, then the mind becomes more at rest. The body becomes rigid, at least partly. And the man feels the underlying bliss underneath all of that activity. So the tobacco may have been a trigger, but it is not the truth. The tobacco is not the path. The path is surrender. If you are sitting in meditation, your path to begin with is surrender. Surrender the physical world. Surrender the senses. Surrender the thoughts. Surrender the feeling. So if you began your meditation with a time dedicated to letting go, I'm not here to worry about my work. I don't need to follow all the things I have to do for this period of time. And you relaxed. Now your awareness, rather than minimizing, expands. It expands to know things beyond perhaps your location. Your heart must open, and you may begin to feel the presence of love. That love is just an introduction to the bliss that will come. So if you began with just a minute of relaxing, of removing, of letting the world fall away, and then began your period of meditation. If you are efficient sufficient, you will find the presence of expanded awareness, of the consciousness that knows no boundary, and the presence of love, which must come at the same time. If you think of your times that you struggle in meditation, is it not that you are holding on to body or mind or action? You are projecting into the future or recalling the past and have not surrendered those to be here and now. So if you are practicing some modality that you wish to develop, what is in the way is the physical world or the belief in the physical. Relax. Take away your pressure and find the presence of spirit. So you can see, I would hope, that the chasing of a modality, of a skill, initially is in the way of the foundation of connecting to spiritual truth. If you first let go of all demands and needs and felt that presence of awareness, what you did afterwards, whatever modality or action it would be, must be endued with awareness and love. If you have not made that connection, then it is the opposite is true. Your physical world is in the way. Your mental state is problematic. See that you are not surrendering at the time of your difficulty. So as you walk the spiritual path, your psychic ability, your expanded awareness must be completely natural. As you let go of the exterior world, the knowingness must reveal itself to you. This is not some miracle, some gift that you are born with. It is just a natural part of the process. So your efficiency of psychic ability in all its different forms and description is a sign that you are making progress. And as you practice meditation, your psychic ability will improve. As you practice meditation, your kindness, your compassion, your love will also expand. Again, this is no miracle, but natural. Your understanding will become clear. And this would begin at the very beginning, meaning just a little dropping away must allow just a little bit of expanded awareness, a little bit of love, a little bit of compassion, starting to make an appearance in the psyche of your daily life. So kindness is a byproduct of meditation or surrender. Why is that? Well, kindness, empathy, is your natural state. The ability to love is your natural state. the ability to heal, the ability to access knowledge, the ability to sit with spirit is your natural state. You don't need to acquire it. In fact, you do not need to learn any skill other than let go of what is in the way. So let's take this one step deeper. And suggest to you, you are forever blissful. You are already in the perfection of spirit. You have access to knowledge which you know nothing about. You have a presence which is both here and on completely the other side of the world at the same time. What is in the way? The physical world and the belief in the world. Let's take this further. When you go to bed of an evening, as sleep takes you, you do not take it, it takes you out of the physical world. In your sleep state, you sit in bliss, in spirit, in perfection. So your sleep state is a blissful state. Do you not regret waking up at times? Getting into bed does not seem to be a problem. Getting out of bed requires more effort. You know what I am talking about. When you sit in your dream state, as you begin to surface back into the world, random thoughts or even visions may come relating to either side of the veil. Let's go further. You love the person next to you, though you think they are your enemy. Your natural state is to love your neighbor, but you put expectations, descriptions, judgments, criticisms in the way of that love. Think about it. Think about that enemy that you may have. Is it not your mental judgment that creates the enemy? If there was no judgment, would you not sit together as friends, as one? Further still, you are already spirit. You are playing the play of being an individual. Does that not now make sense? So when you are sitting on that beach with your partner and you are looking at the sunset or the majesty of a wondrous scenery, and that awe, that beauty, that love arises, you have let go of what is in the way to that love. Now you can practice this. You can test it. Perhaps during your work day, if you wish. Perhaps times when you will sit in meditation. At times when you want to drift away into your musical instrument. At times when you look at your child on stage performing, well, let us say some poetry. It's not the poetry, it's not the child that awakens the love. It is, the love is already there. The surface or the hindrance has been cleansed. So what would happen if you picked your day today, when you wake in the morning, if your time zone is such? Let go of my blocks and surrender to the love that is underneath. Your presence and your awareness will naturally open to you. Spirit is here now with you always, but your eyes look in the wrong direction, expecting the world to provide the connection to Spirit, but rather the action should be, let go of what is in the way. If you are a musical person or one that writes or talks, let go of your expectation. Notice your heart will open, your presence will be here, and time does not matter. When you're looking at your husband and you see the injury that he carries, surrender to Spirit and ask Spirit to work with the injury together. You see, it's often said, and I have said too, that service is the greatest expression of Spirit. The service to others, helping, assisting others. And this also is the same explanation. It is not the tobacco, it is not the other person that brings the joy and the love in helping others. It is just for that moments in time you surrender to what is in the way. And you let go of the judgments of those who need. There are those who let their ego grow rather than shrink and will never feel this true love, but will give them a glimmer of some satisfaction. So when you serve another, you are letting go of the separation to allow the expression of love to be yourself. So sitting in the garden, smoking your pipe and feeling the bliss of the day is letting go of the egotistical self, is letting go of the judgments, the criticisms, the comparisons, the expectation, and just being present. You want to know spirit. The first thing I would ask you is why? And then you would ask, how? And I would say, let go and become who you really are. The more seriously you play your play of having to know and having to do and having to conform, the less enjoyment there will be in your day. The more you can accept and be free, the more love you will feel in your day. You want to know how to get the clarity of meditation, to give the focus, or to access knowledge beyond the physical world. And it must begin by letting go of the physical world. Sitting in peace. And as you sit in that peace, if you wish to use the word love, that will fit as well. The world will first start to lose any interest for you, as the love and the peace become more compelling. And then you will choose to bring that love and peace into the world. You do not need to battle down a door to find spirit. You just need to allow the door to open. And allow the flow of what is true to be in the world. The exterior world, the veil, the illusion, the play, all of this covers over the truth that is underneath you all. Does not your clothes cover your skin? The clothes of the physical self cover over the true spiritual self. So there is no need to be naked in anything other than the truth of your expression. So the act of meditation gives you nothing, but takes away the blocks to the truth. And you could sum it up in this phrase, which I am pulling from my medium's memory. Medicine does not heal, but what it does do is take away the illness to reveal the health underneath. Meditation gives you nothing, but takes away the illusion covering the truth. The tobacco does not take you to paradise, but allows you to sit in peace and let go of what is in the way to paradise. Now you would say to me, I want to know spirit. I want to know them every day, all day, without break. If you establish your foundation in the peace of spirit, it will flow through your day. And all action, even though it may not be feeling peaceful, will be imbued with that peace. When your children do something wrong, when your hands do not play the instrument correctly, when the world offers you challenge, when that friend says something perhaps they should not, know that the love of spirit is still there. Know that you love your child even though they are wrong. Know that you are in love with spirit even if the world is difficult. Know that you are a being of love, not one here to extract revenge or pain. Do not come out of your spiritual nature, but let it forever be the truth of who you are. It cannot be otherwise. So if you seek guidance, my answer should always be, first, find spirit. So if you seek guidance or direction, first, find spirit. If your child or your partner is errant, first, find spirit. But once you access that love underneath, the difficult behavior on the outside is put into perspective. just something you deal with now. The connection to your love is more important. So what if you wanted to create the most grand symphony? What if you want to heal the sick? What if you wanted to lead and guide others? The action must be grounded in the truth of spirit. But if you try to do that while you are in the world, you will find your action will be difficult and cumbersome. But if you tried not to do it and relaxed, you work so much better with a clear mind. Those who play musical instruments will know exactly what I am talking about. No thought gives the correct action. Effort gives mistakes. So before you respond to those that are difficult, check back in. Check to see if you are spirit underneath this problem. As you are facing a torrent of abuse, of not being good enough, not capable, and doing so many things to a poor standard, look at the other person and know you are both first spirit. So you do not need to learn how to smoke a pipe. You do not need the best tobacco. You do not need the glorious sunset or the wondrous view. You do not need to be surrounded by those in love in any other way, but they are a reminder. The sunset allows what is in you to awake. The sunset is truly inside you. What is in the way to your truth now? What is in the way to the love that you must be able to feel now? What is in the way to feeling peace and harmony? What is in the way to feeling spirit every moment of every day, whether you are asleep or awake? What is in the way is no thicker than a bubble, and the world is like bubbles on the top of a stream which must at some stage disappear. You hold on the world, onto the world, like trying to hold the wind. But if you just let the wind do its work, underneath all that noise is the silent peace. So those which are musical and those which sit in meditation, those which are seeking some skill, those who are trying to shift the difficulties and pain. Do the experiment. And see if love and peace, expanded awareness, consciousness, presence is available underneath all of those difficulties. And then let it flow into your music, your words, your healings, and your pain. Let spirit do the work. Let your heart be your guide by letting your mind being clear. And then you are the diamond. Don't put too much effort into being the diamond. Just get out of the way, because you are already a clear, bright expression. And if you see yourself as a color of a note of music, then you are limiting the expression entirely. For you are every color, every vibration. The purity held in the white, not the individual expression. Do the experiment. Find out if it is true. Look at your life. Am I believing in the issue that is in the way? Is love underneath? And let that come by removing what is in the way. Let the flow of your inspiration flow naturally, because you have moved what is in the way. Now the story, if you remember, a man smokes his pipe in the garden. Is a description of your life. Do you sit in that garden and think of all the things that you have to do? Are you pulled out of the garden by the doing of the things that you have to do? Do you sit in the garden and say the garden is the wrong shape or color? Do you sit in the garden and say, I do not have enough time? Can you sit in your garden and accept everything as it is? Is peace and love underneath your world or not? Find out. That is the spiritual path. To your true self. God bless you.